The mystery Porsche is supposed to be untouchable. A brand that survived world wars, oil crises, and financial meltdowns. A name that stands for engineering purity, precision, and prestige. For decades, Porsche did something almost impossible. It sold fewer cars than its rivals, charged more money, and still made higher profits. So here's the uncomfortable question. How did one of the smartest luxury car makers in history find itself cornered, exposed, and struggling to stay relevant in the very future it helped shape? This is not a story about bankruptcy headlines or factory shutdowns. This is more dangerous than that. This is a story about missing the future while believing you were winning. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why Porsche's biggest threat was never Tesla, never China, and never electric cars. It was timing, incentives, and a system that quietly stopped rewarding excellence, setting the stage Porsche's perfect formula to understand the collapse. You have to understand just how perfect Porsche's position once was. Founded in 1931 by Ferdinand Porsche, the company didn't begin as a luxury brand. It began as an engineering house. Solutions first, branding later. The Porsche 911, introduced in 1964, became one of the most successful product designs in industrial history. Same silhouette, same rear engine concept, decades of refinement. Minimal disruption, and that mindset defined Porsche's culture. Don't reinvent. Perfect. By the early 2000s, Porsche had cracked a code that every automaker envied. It sold sports cars to purists. It sold SUVs like the Cayenne to families. It used shared platforms through Volkswagen to keep costs low. And it posted profit margins that rivaled tech companies. At one point, Porsche was making more profit per car than any manufacturer on earth. This success planted the seeds of the problem, because Porsche didn't just make cars. It optimized the system, and systems hate disruption. The rise when Porsche beat everyone. Let's talk numbers. In the mid-2000s, Porsche's operating margins reached levels other automakers could only dream of, sometimes above 15%, sometimes higher. While competitors chased volume, Porsche chased discipline, limited production, high pricing power, devoted customers, mechanical excellence. Even more shocking, Porsche briefly became the largest shareholder of Volkswagen, attempting a takeover during the 2008 financial crisis. That alone tells you how confident and financially powerful Porsche had become. Internally, everything pointed in one direction. Internal combustion engines still dominated. Customer demand was strong. Regulations could be managed. Electrification felt distant. And when electric cars were discussed, they were framed as compliance tools, not existential threats. This is where the story starts to bend. The cracks when the future arrived quietly. The electric transition didn't arrive with explosions. It arrived with spreadsheets. Tesla didn't compete on craftsmanship. It competed on software, batteries, and scale. At first, Porsche dismissed it. Money? Then something unsettling happened? Customers who once waited months for a Porsche started cross-shopping Teslas, not because they were cheaper, but because they felt faster, simpler, and more futuristic. Porsche responded with the Taycan. On paper, the Taycan was brilliant. Performance-focused, engineering-heavy, true to Porsche DNA. But here's the problem. It was built using legacy thinking applied to a new world. The Taycan was expensive to produce, complex to assemble, difficult to scale, and dependent on supply chains that were already under pressure. Meanwhile, competitors optimized batteries, software updates, and manufacturing speed. Porsche optimized handling. The future was shifting from mechanical excellence to systems dominance, and Porsche was late to that realization. The breaking point when incentives turned against